Mira had always been drawn to mysteries. As a young archaeologist, her fascination with ancient symbols and forgotten histories had taken her to remote corners of the world, but nothing had prepared her for the strange forest she found while on a research expedition in Eastern Europe. The locals warned her about entering the woods, but Mira's curiosity got the better of her. As soon as she stepped past the tree line, the forest felt different, older, as though time had forgotten it. At first, everything seemed normal. The air was cool, the ground soft beneath her boots. Mira took careful notes of the flora and markings of trees, expecting to find remnants of the ancient civilization she was searching for. But as she walked deeper into the forest, an unsettling feeling crept over her. No matter which path she took, the scenery repeated itself. Gnarled trees, moss-covered rocks, and a small, bubbling creek she was sure she had crossed several times. After hours of walking, Mira stopped to rest, realizing with growing dread that she was walking in circles. She pulled out her compass, but the needle spun wildly, offering no direction. Frustration mounted as she tried every trick she knew to orient herself, but nothing worked. The sun began to set, casting long, eerie shadows through the trees. She thought about turning back, but she couldn't shake the feeling that the forest wouldn't let her leave. As night fell, Mira set up a small camp, determined to find her way out at first light. But the forest wasn't just keeping her trapped, it was watching her. She could feel it in the stillness, the way the wind whispered through the leaves like voices just out of earshot. Sleep was impossible, and Mira spent the night awake by the fire, her mind racing with questions. What was this place, and why wouldn't she escape? The next morning, Mira resumed her search for a way out, but the forest seemed to mock her efforts. Every turn led her back to the same clearing. Exhausted and confused, she began to notice strange things. Soft, melodic whispers that echoed through the trees, and fleeting glimpses of figures darting between the branches. At first, she thought it was her tired mind playing tricks, but as the days passed, the figures became more distinct. On the third day, while trying yet another path, Mira tripped over an exposed root and tumbled into a hidden hollow beneath a tree. As she lay there catching her breath, she noticed something odd, a pattern carved into the earth beneath her, glowing faintly. The symbols were unlike anything she had ever seen before, but their purpose was clear. They were a barrier, designed to keep something or someone contained. Suddenly, a soft voice broke the silence. "You're not supposed to be here." Startled, Mira turned to find a small figure standing at the edge of the hollow. It was no taller than a child, with translucent wings that shimmered in the dappled light. Its eyes were wide, and though its face was humanoid, there was something distinctly otherworldly about it. "I've been trying to leave," Mira said, her voice shaky, "but this place, it won't let me go." The figure tilted its head, studying her. "You're in the realm of the Fae," it said simply. "We have rules here. Outsiders are not allowed to leave once they enter. The enchantment ensures that." Mira's heart sank. The realization that she was trapped by magic was almost too much to comprehend. "Why am I being kept here?" she asked, her voice trembling. "Because we have secrets to protect," the figure replied, stepping closer. "And you've seen too much." Mira stared at the fey creature, her mind racing. She had read about mythical realms and folklore, places where humans stumbled in and were never seen again. But to be living that story herself was beyond terrifying. The fey's eyes, shimmering with an ancient wisdom, were not cruel, but there was no kindness there either. They were simply the guardians of their world, and Mira had become an intruder. "I didn't mean to disturb anything," she said, her voice calm despite the fear gnawing at her. "I'm just trying to get back to my world." The fey creature considered her for a long moment before speaking. "There is a way out," it said quietly, "but it comes with a price." Mira's pulse quickened. "What do you want?" "You have the knowledge of our realm now, and we cannot allow you to leave without ensuring you'll never reveal our existence. You must agree to bind yourself to our forest, forever. You may leave, but you'll be marked. You'll always feel the pull of this place, and should you speak of it to anyone, you'll be called back." Mira's stomach churned. The thought of being bound to this strange, magical place for the rest of her life was suffocating, but the alternative, remaining trapped here forever, was even worse. She had no choice. "I accept," she said, her voice barely above a whisper. The Fae nodded and reached out, pressing a hand to her chest. A cold sensation spread through Mira's body, and she gasped at the magic that took hold. She could feel the forest presence in her soul now, an invisible tether that would always connect her to this place. Without any word, the Fae stepped back into the trees, and the forest around Mira began to change. The dense underbrush parted, revealing a clear path leading to the edge of the forest. For the first time in days, Mira could see daylight beyond the trees. She walked toward it, her heart heavy with the weight of the bargain she had made. The moment she stepped out of the forest, she knew her life would never be the same. The forest had let her go, but she was bound to this magic forever.